Hello, welcome, bienvenido. I am the Filthy Casual, and as usual, or as will soon be usual, I will be your lovely host this evening. Now, this is my very first Wi-Fi battle uploaded to my channel, so as should be expected, I am very excited about this. I managed to line up a match with a new friend of mine from the Gaia Online PokeForums, um, named Aldfridus, and if I am saying that wrong, I apologize in advance. But let's hope I'm not. Uh, I mentioned the channel to him. He seemed to like the idea, so here we are. As you can see from his team, he kind of has a penchant for using some of the abnormal Pokemon as well. I'm looking at his team and I see things like T-Tar and Gyarados and Liepard and Aegislash, and I'm thinking I kind of know how to handle a lot of these. I've seen them before, but then I see this Aromatisse. Aromatisse. I have never seen. I wow. I think I've seen an Aromatisse used once in VGC in the last the World Tournament. I'm not too sure. But that's it. I have no idea what to expect from this, and I'm kind of excited because this is exactly why I started this channel. I like seeing people use weird things. I like using weird things. So let's get started. Now, I go ahead and I lead off with my Galvantula, and he leads off with his Liepard. I really want to get the sticky web up. As you can probably see from my team lineup, I have a lot of Pokemon that are kind of in that awkward speed tier. You know, they're kind of fast, but they're not really fast enough to outspeed a whole lot of things. But I guess that should be expected. I get the priority swagger from the Liepard, and I'm like, well, shit. And this does a lot more damage than I expected. I always forget that Galvantula actually has a fairly decent attack stat. I just don't use it because I use him as a special attacker. And I mean, that on top of the +2 from Swagger, it's just painful. I get two confused hacks in a row. It hurts, plus the U-turn. Galvantula's dead. At this point, I'm freaking out. Because like I said, my Pokemon are in that awkward speed tier. I'm not really sure what I'm going to be able to do from this point because everything's going to be too slow. But as I look at his team, I see things, you know, like the Malamar and other things that are kind of they're kind of in that same speed tier. So maybe I'm thinking I'm all right. I send out Zangoose against this Malamar. I go for the Detect over Protect because I'm a hipster. Um, to get the Toxic Orb triggered, and I go for the Facade. I know I'm faster, and I get the OHKO, and that's really lucky. I've seen Malamars deal some serious damage. I know that things carrying close combat with topsy-turvy close combat increases defense and special defense each by a stage. It gets crazy really quickly, and I know the close combat would kill me, so that was good. I go for the knockoff. It does a lot of damage. I was hoping for another OHKO, but you know, I guess being King, Shield stance, that's a little unrealistic, even with it being knockoff. And he manages to pull off a substitute, and I'm like, shit. I was kind of expecting a Swords Dance here, something while I break the sub, but I guess, that makes sense not to use it because then, I mean, what are you going to do? Shadow Sneak against a normal Pokemon? It doesn't work. So he goes for the King Shield, and he gets the attack drop on Zangoose, and he goes and he does it again. He gets it twice in a row. So Zangoose is at -4. I'm thinking to myself, not a big deal. He's got just a sliver of HP, and let's face it, it's a knockoff from a Zangoose. But I mean, my health just keeps ticking away from the poison damage, and I'm not able to break the sub with the -4. And I just don't know what to do at this point. I know I got to pull Zangoose out because I'm going to need him later. He outspeeds Gyarados. I know he can put the hurt on that. I know I'm going to need him later in the battle. So I switch out for Heracross. I goes for the King Shield, which I kind of guessed for that turn, and that's fine. And the reason why I go for Heracross is because a lot of his moves are not contact moves. The reason why that's important, as you probably know, it means that if he uses King Shield, it won't get the attack drop, which is good. I'm going for Bullet Seed to try to break that sub and just hit him one more time to take him out, but I get just enough to break the sub, and RNG God decided, well, that's it, buddy. He goes for the Shadow Ball, which does a lot of damage, and I'm just really bummed that I didn't get 4 hits off on the Bullet Seed. He goes for the King Shield again. I'm thinking that he didn't think about the contact move thing. So I go for the Bullet Seed, and it doesn't do anything. Anyway, next turn I go for the Bullet Seed, and I'm able to take him out. And the reason why this is good is because I get the +1 to attack from Moxie, So that's great. So there's that going off. I didn't want to. I don't usually like Mega Evolving right off the bat with Heracross because I can send him in situations like that and usually get a kind of easy kill. It didn't really go that way for me that time, but I did get the kill and the +1, and now I'm going for Mega. I don't know what to expect from this Aromatisse though. Bullet Seed is neutral damage. It resists Bug and Fighting, so I can't go for that. But I figured Bullet Seed would be enough. But look at those little ticks. This thing is taking it like a champ. 3 hits, 4 hits. And he gets a Citrus Berry, so he's just having the time of his life, giving me those sassy eyes over there, and I just can't do anything to him. And I'm thinking, this is really bad. This is really bad. And then it goes for the Draining Kiss, and I live with 2 HP. I'm so happy about that. But you know what? With the HP restore from that, it's out of the kill range for Bullet Seed, so I got to get him out of there. I figure I can sacrifice Zangoose, but the second I say that and send him out, I'm like, crap. I wanted him for later in the battle. He's a shotgun for anything he's faster than. But it didn't work out that way, so, well, I got the free switch in. Sorry, buddy. So I pull him back. I go for a Azumarill, figuring, you know, Fairy doesn't resist Fairy. Play Rough does a shit ton of damage to anything that it hits, so I figured I could do some damage with that. But still, it's not that much, and it goes for the Wish, and I'm thinking, well, crap, he's going to protect next turn and just stall me out until I miss with Play Rough, because I have bad luck with, you know, semi-accuracy moves like that. But he doesn't go for the Protect. I'm guessing he doesn't carry it, and the second Play Rough is just enough to take him out. But he sends out the Gyarados, and I'm thinking, you know, Zangoose, I need you, buddy. But with the attack drop, it's not worth keeping a Azumarill in there. I switch out for Goodra for a couple of reasons. I know he's going to go for a Dragon Dance here, so I'm pretty sure, you know, I'm going to have a safe switch in. My Goodra is also modest and max invested in special attack, and I carry Thunderbolt. So, you know, good job, right? I don't know. I also carry Gooey, so that's kind of a good thing. I know that he's going to use a contact move, and that's going to drop his speed by a stage, which is good because it kind of counteracts with the speed that he got. And he lives! The freaking T-Bolt! How does that happen? I'm still in shock over that. He's got to have some kind of crazy bulk on this thing. But anyway, he goes for the Mega Evolution. I'm thinking, I took a Crunch before. Okay, maybe I can take a Mega Crunch. But it just doesn't happen. It does too much damage, and Goodra's not built to take physical hits, but at least I've got him at -1 speed now. He got the +1 from the Dragon Dance, then -1 from the previous bite. Now he's at -1 from that bite. So, you know, I'm going to make the most of it and steal his shit. I love... Can I just say that I love Imposter Ditto? I really, really do. I don't know why I don't see more people using him. I think it's because people think he's cheap. And you know what? He probably is. But with the Choice Scarf, you know, against boosting Pokemon, it just can't be beat. It's beautiful. It is a beautiful thing. But of course, Aldfridus is going to be clever here, and he remembers that he has priority swagger. And that can potentially ruin my day. So I get the +2 attack. That's great. But I have to remember, you know, Gyarados is still mildly slow at this point. After the -1, you know, he's at about average speed because the Choice Scarf balances out the -1, but still. I'm able to get through the Confusion Hacks and take out the Liepard, though. He's down to just the T-Tar. If I can get through the Confusion Hacks, I can kill him with Waterfall. I know it because I'm at like +4 or +3 right now. But I know if I hit myself in Confusion with that many attack boost, I'm probably going to kill myself. But lucky enough, I pull off the Waterfall, and that's GG. So, Aldfridus, I really enjoyed the match. I love getting to see weird things, and you brought an Aromatisse. That made my day. Again, I've never seen anyone use that. Really amazing stuff, and that's what my channel's all, you know, really all about. So I really appreciate that, and I had a good time. So anyway, don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe below. And oh, don't forget to leave a comment about what Pokemon you'd like to see me use next. Whatever gets voted the highest, I'll use in a future battle and see how it goes, and see if I can find out some kind of clever way to use these things. I also saw that I have 2 subscribers at this point. You know, day 1, you really can't beat that, and I really want to say, you know, thank you to the people that have done that and given me that support. This is really better, way better than I could have ever expected for my first day doing this. But anyway, leave the like, comment, subscribe, and keep it casual.